Gibbidoo-bap-bap-bap-bap. Welcome to Teddy's Talk Show. Do I feel like I am on a Real Housewives episode? Hi, and welcome to Teddy's Talk Show, the only talk show with me as the host. And trust me, we'll be getting all the tea. So today I'm giving you a lovely little blue number. Yes, I am a natural blue, to quote Dory from Finding Nemo. But yes, we have an incredible guest for you tonight. She not only has one business, but several. She's a key player in the Peterborough business scene, and she is a real innovator when it comes to business. Is the one, the only, Laura Steele for the Peterborough Small Business Awards. Yay! Laura Steele. Thanks so much for joining me today, Laura. I know you are a very, very busy woman. So let's get into it.
Yes.
So you are from the Peterborough Small Business Awards. So tell me a little bit about, or not, don't just tell me a little bit actually, because I love to chat. So tell me all about that. And yeah, and then sort of like how we met and became friends.
Okay, so the Peterborough Small Business Awards has been going now for 4 years, and we run an awards programme in the Peterborough area for small businesses. So it tends to be small micro businesses. It kind of came about through me having my own business and my own frustrations with awards programmes and what was available in the area for small businesses. So I like to think I was kind of at the start of the movement for the small businesses in Peterborough. I think around 4 years ago there was kind of a lot starting up and a lot of events geared up towards the small micro businesses. So that's how it kind of started. How we met kind of follows on from there. I met you and you were kind of starting to do the same thing, because the biscuit started about 4 years ago. Is it 4 years?
Yeah, so we started, it's actually really weird because I think my dad, who I work for, Joy of Joys, but we have some akin on that because we both are from family businesses, and that's actually quite interesting. But yeah, so Dad gave the idea to everybody in August of 2016. Our first event was 2017. And when was your first award? Was it 2016 in October?
Yeah. So it was just right at the start of this big movement for small businesses in Peterborough, which was really exciting. So we kind of met as a kind of, we were very united on what we wanted to do and that we wanted to make a difference. And I think both being sort of young business people in Peterborough, it was just we were the start of the movement. But just changing things up and kind of getting rid of all the old boys in Peterborough that were running the small businesses, and just making a difference and changing things up to allow, I think now, what is a really vibrant small business community in Peterborough.
Yeah, definitely. And I think actually you touching on a point of actually being the younger generation. I think especially in Peterborough and possibly the surrounding areas, I've definitely noticed in the past 4 years a real surge of young business owners, young entrepreneurs, even, some people starting businesses at 20, 18, 21, just such a young force. And obviously, in Peterborough, there are a lot of businesses that have been established for a long time. So it is really nice to sort of see the business landscape changing to suit more sort of younger entrepreneurs and younger business people. Yes. I think my favourite part of when we sort of first met was when I was sort of umming and ahhing about going into the awards, because I was a bit scared because I had such stiff competition from my category. I was in personality, and I remember sort of saying hi and stuff, and I was sort of speaking to you about it, and you were just like, you need to just put yourself in. And that has been quite a co-current theme for yourself, I feel, because I'm quite a measured person, so I will go out and I'll ask a few close friends, like, oh, should I do it? Should I not? Not just for awards, but in general stuff. I'm not a very sort of just jumps into the fire. But because of that, I entered and then I won it. So yeah. I mean,
amazing.
And completely before people jump on and are like, oh, that's because you're friends. I wasn't even judged by Laura, I don't think.
No.
So I think it was just a random bunch of people that just judged me independently. So I won it from my own merits.
Yeah. But it's all about like having that confidence, and I think with small businesses, it was something that I was really passionate about. That small businesses need to be rewarded, and we need to have that little pat on the back because nobody else is going to give it to us. It's not like with a traditional employed situation where you have an appraisal and somebody tells you how good you're doing. With a small business, if anything, we just get constantly beaten up by either ourselves or family members that go, oh, well, you could just go and get a proper job. And I think for me, I've got quite a lot of confidence, and that's always propelled me through. And I'm very lucky to come from a family of business owners, so they've always given me that confidence. And when I realised that a lot of other business owners, small business owners, don't know if they don't think they're doing a good job, and actually they are, and they need to be rewarded for it and be in an environment where they can be championed for their victories and for doing a great job for people.
And I think that's where your awards programme really hits home, actually, because you specifically say, because obviously an SME is up to 250 employees, but you specifically say it's only for people from one, I was just about to say 0.
Yeah, you definitely need one.
No, 1 to, I think it's 50, is it not? 1 to 50 employees?
25. My baby.
1 to 25, so even smaller. So you are really targeting really small businesses. That I think that is, very, that isn't being done. And I think that's where your niche really has blossomed and grown to a fantastic awards programme, if I may say so myself. So you've done it for 4 years. Yeah. Where's your next? Where are you going next? So what's happening next? What are you doing to build on what you've already got?
So I think over the last 4 years, we've had such massive growth in the business. I tend to just jump in with both feet and then see where it goes. And I think it's evolved over 4 years, which is what I wanted it to do, because ultimately, if people aren't interested or they think that it could be changed, then that's what I want to do, because I put it on for small businesses. So it very much has adapted over the 4 years. And I think the most important thing for me is the collaboration and bringing in all of these different businesses and enterprises within Peterborough that have started up, that have the same goals and are working towards the same thing. So I think particularly last year we had a lot more involvement with other enterprises within Peterborough. So the Biscuit, we got was involved with yourself and Dad, really just trying to push what everyone is doing. So for me, collaboration has been the biggest movement and shift that we've tried to do in working with other people. We're doing a lot of work with the council organisations, the government, to really try and make a difference in the bigger picture of, changing things for small businesses. And I think this year, it's just, we've really built on that and made really big steps to changing the way things are done and actually becoming a bit of a decision maker in a lot of things that's happening in the city. And that's really exciting. And I think this year, particularly obviously with the coronavirus, is just having a great celebration at our awards final this year and celebrating our accomplishments, because there has been so many. People always talk about the negative stuff that happens and that it's really hard, but actually there are so many finalists that have overcome such huge obstacles, and they've diversified and they've, you know, changed up their business to cope with the current situation and are doing amazingly. I think it's just celebrating those victories and really having a good party this year to
definitely. I think that's quite sorry, I'm just pulling hair out of my head because obviously this is real, not a wig. So yeah, I think also as well, like, a real key collaboration for yourself was also bringing on board Helen from Elite Events and Consultancy. She is sort of the one-stop shop really for event management, operations, that kind of thing. And I know from working with her myself that she definitely has a big toolbox that everybody can use and everybody can pull out and help with. So you're quite an innovative person. I say that because I think I had a conversation with you last, was it November, December time? And by January, you'd already formulated a completely new awards programme for the women of Peterborough, which I was very happy and grateful to host. So thank you for that. Not only just on a fact that you chose me, but the fact that actually it sends such a large message that you are willing to use LGBT artists and that kind of thing, which is people sometimes think, oh, well, you know, it's not a massive thing. It actually is ginormous by using people that are in my community. It just shines a light to some people that might not be there. So I have to commend you and thank you for that as an ally.
I think that for me is all about the collaboration thing and actually working with lots of different groups in Peterborough that are there and doing great things. So like, for example, with the stuff that you were doing, kind of watching it and attending some of your events, sort of just seeing that there's a great talent there and actually that we can collaborate together. And it also, you know, you're a great spokesperson for the LGBT community. So it's highlighting those areas that need to be highlighted, because obviously there's a lot of work to do there to get recognised and change the stigma around a lot of things, which again, as part of the kind of, we had the same with the young business movement in Peterborough with all the old boys that we needed to kind of kick out. There's lots to be done, and I think it's important to, if you've got an opportunity where you can change something and you can highlight something else that's going on whilst doing a great thing like the Women's Awards, for me that was really important. And if you've got that platform, people really need to use that platform to make a difference.
Definitely. Yeah, so what's your top tip for somebody that wants to start a business?
I think the biggest thing that I would say is don't fester. I definitely festered on the Small Business Awards for about 2 years before I did anything. And it was just having a conversation with my dad that really changed my mentality about festering. And my dad owns his business and my grandparents have owned their own businesses. So I remember speaking to him over a Sunday lunch over probably 4 different occasions saying, oh, this really annoys me and I think that this could be done differently and I've got this idea. And I think he just literally said to me, well, just do it then. Start a business plan, write down what you want to do and just start. And it kind of just made me think, okay, you know, I'm really passionate about this and I think it's got some legs. And he just said, just do it. Just start a plan, put stuff down on paper and just, go for it. And I think for me, that was really key in my attitude now with projects and new business ideas, is just literally just put a plan together and just start somewhere. Don't overthink anything. Lots of things for me have failed. I've had lots of projects that I've wanted to start and they've not worked. And failure to me is a success, because you always learn something from whatever you do. Not everything can be successful. Lots of really, really successful business owners have had many, many different ideas And I think sometimes people fester on things so much that somebody else will just come along and do it anyway. So you've just got to start.
Yeah, I think that's really true. I mean, if I think about my own experience, so I was approached by the chalkboard to do just one drag bingo, and this was last October. And since then, we have completely sort of changed the landscape up there and been able to, do more events and everything else. But if I hadn't have taken that initial leap, and I was terrified because that isn't me at all. Normally, I'm very much like, oh, think about it, but I was very much, but for me, something inside of my head, something whispered to me and just sort of said, do you know who it was? But somebody just sort of, whispered in my ear and just went, just do it, just see where it goes. Destiny's opening a door for you, just see where it leads you. And I definitely need to be more like that. But yeah, I think that you can be one of those people that sits there and researches everything, but you've also got to have that kind of personality that sort of takes the jump and takes the leap.
Yeah, and it will end up somewhere. Like everything that I've done has always led me somewhere, and it might not have been where I expected it to go, but it's always opened a door. And I think for me, I do my market research whilst I'm just starting the business or starting. You can ask 10,000 people, and you're no better off in some ways than just doing it. And I think, I also had the title of Miss Peterborough for 2 years, and that very much for me was just one of those things that it just kind of spoke to me, and the charity element of it just really spoke to me. And I thought, for some reason, I just feel like I need to do this, and that has given me so many opportunities and taken me places that I would never have gone had I not have just gone, do you know what, I'm just going to give this a go. So yeah, you just got to start, and if you've got a passion about something, that's the best place to start.
Yeah, that definitely is the best place to start, I think. If you have the passion for it, it means that everything that you're doing comes from the passion. It doesn't come from a place where, oh, I needed this, or I needed to make this, or I needed to do that, or, if you have the passion for it and you want it to succeed no matter what, then I think that is a very different in your brain and everything. I think everything then connected to that then changes. So thanks, Laura. So that was part 1 of Teddi's talk show, talking about Laura and the Peterborough Small Business Awards. If you want to know anything more about Laura or anything about the Peterborough Small Business Awards, make sure you check out her website, which is linked in the bio. And her top tip for a business idea is just go ahead and do it. What's stopping you? So welcome back to Teddi's talk show. I'm still here with Laura Steele from the Peterborough Small Business Awards. So part 2 is going to be about the coronavirus. It's something that's absolutely dominating, obviously, is a global pandemic. But I really like to know how my friends are sort of dealing with that, how they're coping with that, and sort of what positives that have come out of it as well. So, obviously, you are how many months pregnant, Laura? Just in case people didn't realise.
8 months.
8 months.
Got
so
1 month to go.
1 more month. And the baby has been growing nicely. Everything else, brilliant. So being 8 months pregnant. So if we take a look back, so you were 6 months when we went into lockdown.
Yeah.
And you were told you had to do it for 12 weeks. So that basically is bringing you up to your the birth of your child.
Yeah.
So how has it been in lockdown and being pregnant? Because I know before you were having some regular McDonald's.
Yeah, my vices were strong. Yeah, I was definitely...
Don't worry, I'm waiting for McDonald's to open. I've been counting down the days. It's just awful. But yeah, so how has it been being pregnant and being in lockdown?
I think I'm quite a chilled person generally. So I think I have been quite relaxed about it all, because I think and being a business owner teaches you some skills which have really benefited me. So the skill of just the unknown, and that if you can't control
Right.
it, you just need to just chill out about it. So I think that's the biggest thing, is just that there's what I can control, I'll control, and what I can't control, I can't. So I think I had that mentality from the start, and sort of just tried to keep that in my mind. Obviously, a lot of the regulations and going out and things, you know, I've been trying to minimise even going down to the shops or anything like that, to try and obviously protect myself and the baby, because I just don't know what's, you know, how it might affect the baby if I do get it. But I think the social element has been really hard, being pregnant, sort of not being able to go and see my friends and go and have chats with them, or if I'm having a really crappy day, go and meet them for lunch and stuff like that. So I think being a social person, that's been really hard, to lose those little vices that I had before. I mean, we all love going and buying ourselves a new outfit when we feel a bit crappy, so that's been hard, although online shopping has been a godsend. Much to my husband's disgust, because I think the delivery man is here every hour. But I think I've just tried to channel myself and just keep myself really busy. So I've been going through a lot of the processes in the business that I probably wouldn't have looked at before, which has been great, and reevaluating some of those, getting ahead, getting some work done, so that hopefully when we're out of this in the summer, I can actually just enjoy some more time off. I've been doing my garden. Like, I've never ever been a gardener. Everything, like my husband says, like, everything comes to our house to die, and that is literally true with plants, not people, mainly just plants.
Not people, just saying, not people. If someone genuinely thought it was people, I would die. Literally, that's.
I just wanted to clear up.
People everything comes
The police rat digging up the garden.
Dear Susan from down the road watching, like.
Yeah.
Kills people. That's hysterical. But yeah, so you are gardening.
Yeah.
You've been gardening.
That's been really like a strange one, because I've never been green fingered. I've never kept anything alive, but I've just really thought, do you know what, I need a little project, and our garden really needed tidying up. So I've been out there a lot and done that, which has been really nice actually, because it is really relaxing, and it is just taking that time to focus on something and keep busy. And obviously trying to keep in touch with people, you know, messaging, FaceTime.
Yeah.
And try and keep as much normal and routine as possible. But I think it's a weird one. I feel like you just have to have a plan and just try and channel.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, it's again that whole social element. I'm a very social person. You know, I'm part of quite a few committees and projects and everything else. So I was quite a busy person. So obviously being part of the Pride Committee, being part of also pods, helping you with the Small Business Awards, helping with other sort of charity balls and all that kind of thing. So being quite a busy person and knowing different groups and different people, you don't realise actually that kept me sane for 5 minutes, or that kept me sane for 3 days, because I was able to talk to that person. And so for me, that's been quite hard, that even though you can still go and talk to those people, but it is different to sort of going, because I think it's also a part of, and like, so you go out and you would go for lunch. So you would have that sort of, you know, that whole little element. You can't do that anymore, which, you know, fair enough. I know that, you know, we are talking real first world problems. We really are.
Yeah.
Because there are some people that couldn't do that before, and I understand, you know, massive privilege. But also as well, you know, that kind of thing also is quite good for your mental health. I mean, so yeah, I mean, I haven't ventured out in the garden. I mean, I'm quite a good gardener, but what I've been doing is I've actually been cooking more, which I never did before. And in doing that and eating at home and not eating all those McDonald's, I've lost 10 pounds, which I was quite happy about. So,
I've got
but you are having a baby. At one point, I did think to myself, oh, if I throw on a wig pushed up my stomach and got one of them baby on boards, would I get like a little seat on this tube? But no, I've never ever done that, ever. So I think, like you say, it's good to sort of, and I think also as well, like for me personally, if I haven't felt up to doing something that day, I just don't do it. I'm just like, no, I just need to take a few minutes, I might do it an hour later, I might do it, the next day or whatever, but I think as well, like, you just have to listen to everything around you, and if something's just telling you to be like, no, you just need to stop for a moment and just recalibrate yourself, then I think that's quite good too. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing. It'll be interesting to see how we get back to where we were with going out and seeing people and seeing if we're allowed out and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which might happen sooner rather than later. But yeah, that is. I think that's going to be, because obviously, how do you then open up things, and how do you go back to things when you have everything's been closed down for so long? How do you then sort of go back to that sort of normality, as it were? It's been an interesting time, but hopefully it's been quite a positive thing as well. I mean, I've seen a lot of...
I think that people, it's really easy to kind of panic and think, oh, this is terrible, and everyone does that, and everyone has those days where they feel like, it's just they can't cope. But I think you just have to kind of pause and think, right, okay, what can I do? Like, it's the whole, what can I change? What is in my control? And just try and make a positive out of it. I mean, we're never ever going to get this time again in our lifetimes, probably. Touch wood, we don't have anything like this happen again. And we've just got to use it and just take the best from it.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what we can do.
Yes, definitely. I think that is, I think that's the great bit of advice. And on that, I shall leave the coronavirus. There. So that's part 2 of our little talk show today. But in part 3, we'll be talking about something that is very dear and close to, especially my heart, makeup. So make sure you come back for part 3. Part 2 all done, and we're already halfway through. Whoa! So that was all about the coronavirus and how it's affected Laura in her pregnancy. She seems pretty chill about it, which, she's a pretty chill person for the people that know her. So that is fantastic. She's been getting out and gardening as well. What have you guys been doing? Tell me in the comments. So welcome back to part 3 of Teddi's talk show. Thanks once again, Laura, for coming along and doing the first ever one. Oh,
very
I hope it has been fun for you as it has for me. Okay, so last topic of the day is makeup. We do love ourselves a bit of makeup. I ask actually everybody that comes on the show, or I will be asking everybody that comes on the show, even if they don't use it, because I just think makeup is such a unifying topic. Okay, so we're going to talk about our favourite products. So I'm going to go first, as I'm the host. And what I'll do also as well is that I'll put all of the products on my story, so you can see where we get them all. Okay, so one of my absolutes cannot do without is my beauty blender from whatadrag.co.uk. What a fab name for a company, can I just say as well. What a drag for drag supplies. It's hysterical. You can use it dry or wet. I would say, not really wet, but you want it damp. I would always say damp it down, because it just gives you, it's so soft, it's so lovely. It just makes sort of blending and everything else and shoving that makeup onto your primer so much better. And this actually retails, I think, for about £6, so quite cheap, but very, very good. And it's easily washable, and it's an absolute must-have for anybody, for me, that does makeup. My next, obviously, has to be NYX Cosmetics Bear With Me Jelly Primer. I think this is the thing I love about NYX Cosmetics is that everything is cruelty-free. And I think a lot of their makeup now is also vegan. So they're really trying, yeah. So I think they're really trying to like help, you know, that the vegan demographic actually wear makeup and all that kind of thing, which is amazing. The thing I love about this is that, I don't know if actually you can see it in there. No, this might be a bit too light. So this is just filled with like a lovely like primer. It's very, very tacky. It's very sticky. So when you put it on, it doesn't set sticky. Once you put your makeup on, it's absolutely fine. But it is, it's an absolute godsend, and the makeup sticks to it so well. So for me, having that primer on and just being able to have that kind of, I always love when they do this. This is my favourite thing people do. Like, oh, I just need to block out the background because that's helping, isn't it? If you've ever seen any YouTuber, just like, they can't just do that. They've got to be like, anyway. Yeah, so I absolutely love this product. It's so good. And my last product is from Give Face Cosmetics. They also are vegan and cruelty-free, which I didn't realise until just now. And this is beard cover. So if you are a drag queen and you are like me and have a 5 o'clock shadow 2 minutes after you shave, then you need some of this. What it does is you put it on with you sort of grab your beauty blender, you stick it in there, and you put it on where your beard's going to be, all the way there and there, for me personally, because that's where all it is. After you've put your primer on, and then that should give you a nice solid stuff to then apply other cosmetics to. So I generally do this underneath everything. So this will be on, this is layer 2 if I also count the primer. So this is layer 2, and then you can also set that, and it just makes your beard disappear, your 5 o'clock shadow disappear. And it's great. This, sorry, I didn't give you the price. So this is like £15. Quite, well, for that kind of makeup, like as in like from Boots and stuff, it's sort of more of the upper end. However, it's nowhere near your like max or anything like that. So yeah, it lasts for so long. I think this lasts me like 3 months, so definitely an investment. This was £6 and this was like £7, and you get so much in it. Like, that's quite a thick tin. You can also use it if you've got dark circles under your eyes. It also gives you just a bit of a nice flattening, so you can apply more makeup to it. But they're my 3 absolute go-tos that you need. And now, Laura, what are yours?
So my makeup has actually really changed, because I just realised there's nothing MAC here, and I do love a bit of MAC. But the first one is the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerise. I love the rose gold personally, but they do other shades. But it's like a metallic eye kind of cream, but it goes on and it's really shimmery. So for the summer, I love just putting that on with a bit of mascara. And yeah, that's Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerise. So literally just put it on with a little brush and just pat it down, and it kind of goes quite solid. So it's not one of those ones that you kind of have to keep smoothing over. I also love the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. So it goes on and it stays really quite thick, so you can kind of just brush it on under the eyes with a beauty blender, blend it out, but it really just stays intact. So that's the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. And then the Laura Mercier Setting Powder, the translucent powder, which is just my go-to for just making sure that you get rid of any of the oily patches. Again, lasts all day. The prices of these, I think the Laura Mercier setting powder is about £20 for the smaller tub. Again, lasts you a really long time because it's just so fine. The Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerise is about £25. Again, it comes in, I think there's like 4 or 5 different colours, but for the summer, I love that. And then the Tarte Shape Tape concealer is about £25. So they're my...
So we're looking at a sort of a MAC level price range there, because I would say that the MAC concealer that I also have is roughly around that price.
Yeah, I'm definitely a bit of a sucker for a makeup hype product. So they're all kind of recommended from makeup artists and stuff. But
yeah, and they are really good. I mean, you know, MAC is set at a price. Obviously, if that is too expensive for you, then that is too expensive for you. But they are still really good products, I think. You know, and there isn't and there's no shame in buying more expensive makeup if you want to.
Especially when you're buying little staple products, so like the Charlotte Tilbury one.
And that will probably last me for a long time.
It will last me, like, I've literally used hardly any out of that because you just need so little because it's really pigmented. So yeah, they're a good investment.
Yes, and that's what I think. And well, if I talk about it from like a drag perspective, and makeup, you know, some of my makeup is really cheap, some of it is more expensive. Like my setting spray that I use is MAC, probably one of the more expensive setting sprays, but actually for me, that's what I need. My setting powder also is from MAC as well. Again, what I need for this face to be what it is. So, what is your favourite brand of makeup?
I am a MAC lover. I do love MAC. I think because it's just really pigmented, so I love the kind of boldness that it gives, especially if I'm doing like a night out makeup. But I also, there's some products from I think it's Maybelline. I really like all their lipsticks. They're really like nourishing, and I get really dry lips, so I tend to use them for the lipsticks and stuff.
Lovely. My favourite brand, I think it has to be NYX Cosmetics, even though they're in my bad books at the moment because they sent me the wrong order. But it's getting rectified, it's fine. I just think that they have such accessible makeup and it's not expensive. A lot of their foundations and stuff, you know, they have a wide range starting from £6 going all the way up to 15. And they're really good coverage. And also, so I like the fact that they are a brand that is really into cruelty-free and they do that sort of vegan option as well. I think as well also because I started my sort of drag journey with NYX, I feel as though I have a real loyalty there because I know that if I don't have anything else of what I'm using, so at the moment I'm sort of experimenting with Revolution and sort of other brands as well. I know that if I need if I don't have anything else and I just have that, I know I can pull off the face. So that's what I quite like about that. And what is your top tip for doing makeup? Or what's your top tip for, you know, doing makeup for you or for whatever you think is correct?
I think my biggest thing, so I was really, until a couple of years ago, I was really scared of doing eyeshadow. And I loved it when people did it on me, but I was terrified of doing eyeshadow. And I learned from Hannah, who owns Kiss and Makeup. She was like, just trust the process. So just experiment, do your eyeshadow, and you know, we wipe it away afterwards. And I think for me, that's changed how now I can do my own eyeshadow. It's just trust the process, kind of layer, and then just literally wipe away. And it looks amazing. So yeah, just trust that you're not going to look terrible and you can just wipe away with your like fierce eyeshadow.
Yeah, I think, also so I was quite similar in that respect because I was very much like, I don't want to have like big eyes and look super like, you know, have these big extravagant colours that are really pigmented because I just didn't feel as though it went with my skin tones and it felt really out of place. And actually, that is what you've just said is 100% true, you know. And I think also as well, you've just got to have that experimentation phase with your makeup. You need to be able to, you know, go home after work and just be able to just, you know, put that stuff on, or just, you know, you have an odd Sunday evening where you're not doing anything. Just experiment because that's how you get better. It takes me just over an hour to get ready, as Laura knows. But obviously, you know, I haven't finished this phase. If you look at my original iteration of who my makeup, good Lord. And, you know, it does take time to refine that process. I think that's a really valid point. My top tip always would be have a good moisturizer and primer, because I just think that you can run the risk so much of really damaging your skin, really drying it out, you know, giving yourself like little spots and stuff when you don't need to, and making sure you have a skincare routine, I think, outside of it, because makeup is drying. Makeup, it does take, you know, it can also get in your pores, so make sure that you have that. You know, when you are using, when you're getting rid of it, make sure that you don't just have like one, you don't just sort of have a wipe and that be it. You know, I use sort of 3 or 4 different products now, where I have a wipe, but then I also use a cotton wool pad and my cellular water with oil. That for me has worked absolute wonders, and it smells gorgeous as well. And always clean your brushes, I think, as well, because I used to get really bad breakouts, and I asked one of my friends, and they were like, "Are you washing your brushes?" And at the time I wasn't. And then she said, "Wash your brush, because obviously you've got like dirt and stuff in there that obviously is then spreading." So yeah, so that would be my, even though I've probably given you about 5 tips there, but my my main tip.
Definitely looking after your skin is so important, and even like making sure that you've got a SPF underneath your makeup to protect your skin, because sun damaged skin is not pretty when you're like 60.
No, it isn't at all. And
SPF.
Yeah, one of my friends actually said the 2 things you get given that you can always make sure you look after is your skin and your hair. So she was like 24 and like was using moisturizer, was using like hair pills, all this stuff that a lot of people at the time were like, "Why are you doing all of that?" And she was like, well, like she was using that anti-aging and all that kind of thing. I was like, well, I can keep my skin, if I can keep my skin as good as I can, then I can. So I think, a skincare routine needs to definitely be part of your makeup life. But definitely, I would say all of that and more is great. So, thank you for joining me today, Laura. And this has been the first of Teddi's talk shows. We have some very exciting people coming up for you as well. All of my friends, of course. And yes, so I hope you've had a fun time today, Laura.
I have. It's been really good. Thank you for having me.
No, you are more than welcome, and we'll get you back on at some point as well. You know, this thing is ever evolving. Hopefully when we get outside of lockdown, we can maybe do it being sat on the same sofa or something. Who knows? The world is our oyster. So thank you so much for joining me today, Laura. I hope you have had some fun.
Yeah, it's been brilliant. Thank you for having me.
No, of course, and we will get you back on. Hopefully next time we will be out of lockdown. We'll be able to sit on the same sofa, or me in a chair, you in the same place or same building. Must say your background has been absolutely beautiful today. I'm loving the flowers behind you and the nice big mirror. Always a nice big mirror in our lives. And yes, so the last little bit I just want to give you is a shout out. So your name and your business that you're from is?
So I'm Laura Steele and I run the Peterborough Small Business Awards.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Laura, for joining me, and I shall see you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, and that's all we have time for today. Thanks so much for joining the first of Teddi's talk shows. I'll be bringing you people from my life to yours. Next time we will have a delectable person for you to get to know in different areas and different walks of life. All that I have left to say is keep clapping, stay safe, much love and hugs, my loves. All right, that's Teddi signing off. Bye.